Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is now just 22 days away from its official release by Disney, Lucasfilm, J.J. Abrams, and crew that is all set and ready to end the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy itself. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, like I say, we are now just under a month away from this release of the movie, and a lot of fans are very worried about this movie, or very excited, curious, apathetic toward it. A lot of mixed reactions and emotions, feelings are going in, to this movie from the fans because of everything that they have seen, everything that they have heard, and specific decisions that Disney and Lucasfilm have actually made throughout many of the changes and adjustments that took place over the course of 3 months of August, September, and October of this year, when they did all of the massive reshoots and the rewrites, you name it. Now, like I say, this month in November, as we go into December, we are reaching the peak of the marketing of Episode 9. We're going to be getting more footage, more TV spots, more images, stuff around those lines, new interviews by JJ and more. That's going to really prep the release of the movie. Now, with that being said, throughout all these different changes, I want to go over something very unfortunate that has all to do with some of the core characters that were actually deleted in specific scenes in order to sacrifice those scenes for other characters. And honestly, I think it's an embarrassing move by Disney and Lucasfilm and what they have been doing with all these different adjustments for The Rise of Skywalker, if I really had to be honest. Now, what's really intriguing about this is that it's explained that during many of the rewrites and reshoots of the film by Disney and Lucasfilm for the second and third acts, it's said that this was all done to adjust the second and third acts of the movie, where it's explained that many of these changes had a massive impact on the film's structure and that many sequences were deleted, cancelled, or reworked into the finalized version of the film. It said that one of the key scenes that were deleted from the movie was going to involve a lightsaber duel between Palpatine and Kylo Ren, as well as Rey, where it said that this lightsaber duel was originally going to take place within Palpatine's throne room on Exegol, where the entire scene was filmed in early 2019 and was later deleted by Disney and Lucasfilm to save screen time for other characters like Rose, Zori, Bliss, Jannah, and others, where they raid the Star Destroyers over the world of Exegol. Now, the saber duel between the three was actually said to echo the duel from Revenge of the Sith between Dooku, Kenobi, and Anakin, and that the choreography mirrored the fighting styles from the prequel trilogy era. Now, this scene was ultimately deleted, also due to Kathleen Kennedy and Disney wanting to lessen the screen time for Palpatine in the third act of the movie. Additionally, it's explained that one of the other sequences that were deleted to save screen time for characters like Rose, Jannah, and Zori was a sequence in which Luke Skywalker would appear in the form of a flashback that would have explored Luke's journey with Lando Calrissian on the desert world of Pisana, where it said that the scene used de-aging technology to show a young Luke and Lando through Disney's de-aging tech, where they would be searching for a creature called Achi, who is trying to hunt down Palpatine's son, that is said to be Rey's father in the movie, which will explain why she is his granddaughter in the movie. These changes and adjustments were also made to give more screen time to the new characters like Rose, Zori, and Jannah during their mission in the second act of the film, where additionally it's also said that some of John Williams' themes and revisions of tracks surrounding the Skywalkers have also been cut from the movie in order to make room for themes of brand new characters and new themes that actually surround the Resistance in Episode 9. So let's go over a couple of parts about this, and like I say, this is just an embarrassing thing by Disney and Lucasfilm to do, to sacrifice scenes that would have been so excellent and pure for the Star Wars fans for other characters that I feel a lot of fans just don't really care about. And I will be honest, if I really had to be real with you guys, I really don't care about Rose at all. I don't care about Zori Bliss all that much, and I most certainly don't care about, Jannah and the other characters that are going to go on those space horses raiding the Star Destroyers. To be honest with you guys, I think it's the most ridiculous looking thing in the new trailer that we got a couple of weeks ago, and that part of the plot just does not seem to make a lot of sense. But when we look at Episode 9 specifically, I will say that this movie does have a lot going for it, because it does have its moments where things sound pretty promising and exciting, but there's also decisions by Disney and Lucasfilm that make you roll your eyes. And I think that this is yet another great example of how Disney and Lucasfilm, they don't know Star Wars. It's almost like that they feel that the level of characters like Rose, Jannah, and Zori are on the same level as Luke, Lando, and Palpatine, Rey, and Kylo Ren. It's not the same. Those characters are affiliated with the Force, the Jedi, the Sith, you name it, and that's exactly, in my point of view, what makes them more interesting and what really gets you sucked into the movie more. So the fact that there was going to be a lightsaber duel, a literal lightsaber duel between Palpatine, Rey, and Kylo Ren, where Palpatine would be able to use a lightsaber in Episode 9, that scene was actually cut, all because of having more scenes related to, of course, Jannah, Rose, and Zori Bliss, using, of course, those space horses, and her using her Y-Wing over the world of Exegol, and raiding those Star Destroyers. Now, to me, I think that's a terrible decision. I don't really know what the logic, is with that by Disney and Lucasfilm. That doesn't make sense to me at all. I feel that what the fans really want is everything related to what we have seen in the originals and the prequel trilogy. There's a lot of prequel trilogy, fans out there that do support episodes 1 through 3, and if you guys grew up with the prequels, you most certainly love Palpatine having lightsaber action. And because of that, there's going to be no lightsaber action for Palpatine in The Rise of Skywalker. I don't know if you guys knew this, but in this movie, Palpatine will not be using a lightsaber. Originally, he was supposed to, before that particular scene was deleted, in order to really save screen time for those 3 other characters. Let me go over why this is a big failure on Disney and Lucasfilm's part. It seems like that they are really just shoehorning these new characters in and kind of forcing them to, either new viewers, to create new Star Wars fans, where they're going to create, Star Wars in a different direction, or treating The Rise of Skywalker differently. It's almost like they're banking on these fans that are not pretty much familiar with these Star Wars movies, or just new viewers, I should say, new audience members that go ahead and see the film, and they're trying to create new characters that are going to be treated on the level of Palpatine, Rey, and Kylo Ren, as well as Luke and Lando. To me, it just sounds like nonsense. It doesn't make much sense at all. But that's just my opinion. That's just me being honest, and I think that's all that really matters. We all have our own opinions. That's what makes us human beings. But with Episode 9 just around the corner now, a lot of fans are very, very much on edge with exactly, how bad the decisions are going to look on the big screen. What it's going to look like once it's actually out in theaters, what the execution of the movie is going to be like, how everything is going to come together, visually speaking, looking past the TV spots and looking past the teasers and the trailers, right? We've seen a great example of this with The Last Jedi. Of course, a lot of the trailers and the TV spots can make things seem a little bit better than they really are because of the music and the dramatic beats that go along with it and the specific shots that go along with elements of the music. A prime example is the Duel of the Fates, alright, the revision of that track that went along with the new TV spot that we got just yesterday on Thanksgiving Day. Amazing, epic, it makes you love the footage 20 times more. And if you strip the music away and you kind of put different music into it, it does change your perception on it all, at least in my point of view. So with that being said, the last thing I just want to touch on here is that, yes, I do believe that this is a big mistake, and yes, I do believe that this is an embarrassing moment for Disney and Lucasfilm to kind of sacrifice these scenes for Luke, Lando, Palpatine, Rey, and Kylo Ren and dwindle them down in order to save more screen time for Rose, Zori, and Jannah. I don't get it. I really just don't. And that's just my honest, opinion on things, is that I don't understand exactly what Disney and Lucasfilm are really trying to do with promoting those characters, because it seems like that they are trying to undermine, Luke, Palpatine, and others that we all know and love and have seen and have been with ever since, this whole entire saga started back in 1977. So this movie, it seems like that they're making a lot of bad choices, that through all the different changes that they made, they really wanted to restructure this movie into something else by really kind of just recrafting the overall tone of Episode 9 into something, completely different than what they had before, which I think is really going to cost them a lot. The box office projections as of right now, they're not looking too hot, but so far, they are going to be at least decent. Hopefully, it'll at least do well, the movie, as far as everything that happens in the film on the big screen, visually speaking. We'll have to wait and see. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
night to